All right, everybody, welcome back to the show today. Today I'm with Eric Jason Beach. Eric is the founder of BWise Education Academy, the Beach House Hotel. He is an ongoing entrepreneur and leader, and I'm excited to have you on the show today, Eric. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about your backstory, your personal story.
I'm from Wisconsin. I'm a veteran. I served in the Army for 20 years. And then coming out of the Army, I purchased property. You know, I was competent in facilities management and equipment management and logistics. So I started my first business, which was just rentals, and it went pretty good. And I found help along the way. And then it provided me so much success that I had this mindset, like if you had $50,000 in your pocket, you'd be like, man, where could I invest this? Like what could I do with this asset? So the same thing happened when I bought this building and I retired from the Army. I had this really nice safety net, like, okay, I can be risky now.
Yep.
So I started having that mindset. Okay, then what are you going to do, hotshot? You're gonna invent something? You're gonna build something? You're gonna start a company? So that was a question that rolled around in my head a lot. Is now what are you gonna do? And then I started working on BWise. I had some other thoughts in there, but BWise was the best thing that I could think of. It was the best object to reach for.
So describe BWise a little bit, because
So Craigslist, it's a sales platform. It's Etsy, it's Uber, it's gig economy. So I could post a class called how to restore a piece of furniture.
Yep.
And you could make a determination of whether or not you want to take my class. If it's speak Spanish, do QuickBooks, so the users, there's two types of users on my platform. There's teachers and students. And a teacher is basically putting an item for sale. And the student can choose to interact with that teacher. So that's what BWise is. It's a marketplace. It's a knowledge sharing marketplace.
Okay.
It has a lot of other great attributes, but at its core, that's what it is. Yeah. So
let me ask a little bit more about that. Like, why did you think that was ripe for, go ahead.
Why did I choose that as like my goal?
Yeah, I mean, you compared it to some pretty big companies, and when you said that, Uber, and then it kind of snapped into place for me as well, that it's ride sharing, it's a knowledge and education sharing platform.
Yeah.
How did you land on that? Like, that's a big thing.
Well, I always appreciated things that my uncle taught me and my grandpa taught me. Like, they taught me little nuggets that helped me be successful. So, those are two examples of tools that I've earned over my lifetime that made me successful. And it made me realize how valuable it is to teach that to our kids and our coworkers, because you want everybody around you to be as smart as possible.
I mean, in theory,
it would make the workplace a lot more enjoyable if everybody was extremely competent.
That's absolutely true.
Right. Yeah. So you want everybody around you, especially within your company or within your squad or team, however big your arms reach around people. You want all those people to be as smart as possible, to know as many skills and do everything as efficiently as possible. So anyway, so I landed on BWise.
So sorry to keep interrupting you. Where did you learn that, or why did you decide that? Like, I mean, we talked a little bit ahead of time. I was in the Army, but only, a bit over 4 years. Like, did that come from the way that you described that is, kind of lands for me, and that's what the Army wanted. Everybody to be highly trained and super capable of doing a job.
Yep. So when you go to work for somebody, you want to work for them as hard and as efficiently as you possibly can. You want to be a better employee for them than you would for yourself. You want to, and whenever you use something of somebody else's or you have a relationship with somebody else, you want that thing or that person to be in a better place because of you. So if I borrowed your pressure washer, when I returned it to you, I'm going to have checked the tire pressure and the oil and, hey, Mike, here's your pressure washer back. Thanks for letting me use it. I did a service on it for you, or I prepared it for winter. So I want to give that relationship back to you in better condition than when I used it. And the same thing when we have a relationship with people. Sometimes I need to tell you if your fly is down, like, hey, Mike, it'd be better if you're doing business this way. But ultimately, I'm trying to have a better relationship with you. So sometimes it looks like criticism, sometimes it looks like sharing, but that's how communication goes. That's how people interact.
Yeah, I mean, we tell people we're not in the criticism business, but we are in the critique business, right? If I can give you a piece of information that helps you adjust or adapt, and you said that you want certain outcome, and we see you headed in the wrong direction, we're going to give you the critique.
Right.
To your point, hey, if you want to work with your pants zipped up, you'd probably have more success.
Right. Yeah. You have to have honest relationships with people.
Yeah. So
you have to know your own worth. You have to know your weaknesses and how you can improve, and you have to be a bit grounded. It'd be real foolish for me to think, that I could enter into a very large endeavor unprepared. Like it'd be hard to start a machine shop. For example, you have to have $10 million worth of tools and probably 200 years worth of experience amongst your staff.
Right.
So it'd be really ignorant for me to think I could go ahead and start a machine shop. And it might have been ignorant for me to think that I could build an app, but that's what I did. So I chose to do BWise instead of doing, a garage or a restaurant or something like that. I chose BWise because I thought it was the best way I could contribute.
I mean, I think that concept of if you have $50,000, you have an asset, and immediately going to the question of what's the best use of the asset.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of business owners who'd say, if I have $50,000, I'm going on vacation, right? They're not thinking about.
Some people have that mindset.
Yeah.
Yep. Some people have that mindset, and it's fine. We need to relax. We need to have a beer once in a while, but I guess at the end of the day, life is what you make of it. It's a coin. You get to spend it one time. So do what you want.
Sure. So what's your biggest learning so far as a business leader?
If you could be a solopreneur and work your ass off and be successful. But if you want to be bigger than that, you need to have good relationships. You need to have very good relationships. So it'd be, and I highly recommend people become solopreneurs. It's a nice way to get into the economy and build a giant nest egg for yourself before you're too far out to keep doing it. But yeah, that's probably the most basic size business is a one-man show. Maybe you still have a support network. You still have a wife and a mom and a dad and people that give you advice. You still have a nice support network, but it's primarily just you. If you ever want to be bigger than that, if you want more than one truck or more than one building, you need to have very good relationships. Yeah.
Okay.
And don't have wasteful relationships. Like if you find yourself like, what am I doing here? Then move on to different people.
Yeah. And how about your biggest challenge, or what's the biggest thing that's caused you? We look at challenges as things that make people grow.
Yeah. My own ignorance, obviously. You don't know what you don't know. So sometimes you go into situations blind. That's my biggest challenge.
How would you know if you don't know? Like, what's the signal to you that you're coming up against something that I don't know about this?
When people react awkwardly to you, then you kind of know you're a fish out of water.
Do you have any examples you're willing to share?
Um, yeah. The hotel, buying the hotel.
Okay.
Uh,
Because you have
90%.
more than BWise. We didn't, I kind of cut you off talking about
Yeah,
BWise, but
yeah. So yeah. Well, so then I started building BWise, and that was in like 2018 is when I came up with the idea. I was sitting with my grandma when I came up with the idea, and then I started funding it through Beach House, so my properties that I own. So all the excess income I had paid for BWise. That's how I spent every dollar. I never bought a Corvette. I just tried to build what I wanted it to do. So I did that, and then we were getting pretty far along in development. And in the back of my head, in my naive head, I thought, okay, we're going to launch in a year, and I'm like, I need a bigger platform. So I ran for office twice, and I thought I could use BWise. Yep, I do sound crazy right about now. So I thought I could use BWise within like the municipal. I think I would be really good in office, but
I think so too. I just
that's beside. But anyway, so I did something radical, and people kind of look at you awkwardly. I'm back to that awkward thing. Like,
mhm.
what business do you have running for office? Have you been an alderman for the past decade? No. Oh, have you been to any meetings? No. And they give you that awkward look. So you're a fish out of water, and you're doing something. You, you don't know what you don't know.
Sure.
When I'm running for office and people are like, "What are you doing, Beach?"
Yeah.
Then you realize, like, all right, this is probably greater than my experience level can handle. But you know what? If you do something that
Maybe.
your experience level can't handle, just work your way through it. You'll get out of it. You'll do it.
That's right. I think
So,
people face challenges and they decide that the challenge is going to win instead of, the learning opportunity
yeah,
is going
and
to
then they
win.
quit. And then they quit making house payments. Like, well, I'm going to lose the house anyway. They quit. They give up, or they blow up at their. They're not doing great at work. So then they explode at work, and they quit
Yeah.
their job. They quit that relationship with that person where you could have been trying to build something like, hey, let's build this housekeeping business together, or let's repair this car. Let's flip this car together. Let's go do siding together. Let's learn how to code. Let's do a 3D printer. So you got to have good relationships with good people and with good intent. Like if you show up in front of a person, what do you want? Let's drink beer. Well, that's the wrong answer.
Yeah.
We didn't
How
come here
much
to drink.
how much of that's a carryover do you figure from their time in the military?
About it, because I learned a lot of bad lessons there too. It was the let's drink beer culture, and then it's like, man, we're really getting nothing done all month long.
I it was the best decision of my life to get out, but it was also the second best to go in.
Okay.
Like I learned a lot of stuff I would have never been exposed to. And I went from there to I wanted to go work at a union shop
Mhm.
because I was a junior officer and I thought that the lessons from the army, I got out in 91 when it was a big recession. And everybody's like, well, all you guys know how to do is give orders to people. And I'm like, technically we can legally do that, but nothing freaking happens. Nothing good happens if you treat people
Yeah.
as if they're things, right?
Yeah.
And so I worked hard to find a job as a supervisor in a union shop. I worked at Post Cereals, and it was everything that I could have asked for challenges on leadership. And almost all of it went back to something that you said is you want well-trained people around you. You want competent people around you. And one of the things I've always taken that's always stuck with me was we trained all the time in the military. And like our job was to train, but drop a hat and something needs to get done, it gets done. Like people know what to do. And then the
Mhm.
translation into the civilian world, and for a lot of people listening to this, I know you've had the conversations with me or with yourself that if I just didn't have employees and everything would be great. But, to listen to Eric's point, relationships and developing your people, that's where greatness will happen for your business,
Yeah. If you didn't
not
have
by
them,
you. Yeah. So if you had to pick three people that you're in your business journey that you're most grateful for, being there at the right time and saying the right things. I would imagine your grandma's one of them since you thought
Yeah,
of BWise there. Who
right.
else?
I couldn't limit it to three. There's no way. It'd be a 1,000-person deep list. Uncles, father, children.
Yeah,
Yeah. But the pats on the back help. Like, hey, you got this. That really
sure.
helps. So all the people that said you got this, all the people that challenged me, like, hey, you need to do the right thing in front of me, like grandma, like, no,
Yeah,
no shortcuts. No, we got to
there
take,
are none.
we got to do it the extra long way because it's the right way to do it.
Yeah,
So, the people that forced me on the people that told me, hey, he flies down,
sure.
people that were honest with me. Oh, so, yeah, but like my uncle, I would watch him, and he could make a job site out of anything. We would just show up nowhere in a lawn, and then 5 minutes later, the table saws are set up, and he's got the workflow all figured out. And all right, let's move this equipment here and this equipment here. So it made me realize that anything is a job site.
Yeah,
Absolutely anything, no matter where you go, what you do, you got to think about all the flow of all the people and all the things.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, my Uncle Joe, my grandma. Yeah,
So
but
what's
I do appreciate those people.
yeah. I again, if you're listening, say thank you to the people in your uh experience that have caused you to get to where you are. I think I told you, Eric, when we talked that one of my biggest influences was a guy I worked for in the Army, and by the time I got around to sending him a letter to say thank you, his wife sent it back and said that he had died 8 months earlier from
Oh
cancer, and
yeah,
I'm like, oh,
yeah,
what a waste! Like that guy never knew that he had this super profound impact on my life.
yeah.
So what's the next big thing for you and the Beach Enterprise Consortium?
Uh, um, no major plans. I plan some things with my employees because I want to keep engaged and keep them part of the decision-making process. So kind of whatever way the wind blows me, but I really want to figure out how to market BWise and to get people using it. So that's my next big thing. I need to figure out how to do it, and I haven't hired anybody. I've just been focused on the product right now,
Okay.
and
And it's bwise.com, right? Or dot
it's
edu
.app. It's .app. So if you went to
dot app. Okay.
www.bwise.app, that would bring you to the website, and if you went to app.bwise.app, that would bring you to the actual application. And
Okay.
you could create an account, and if you wanted to, you want me to explain how the mechanics of it a little bit more, Mike?
I mean, yeah, if you can do it kind of, briefly, and we'll
Kind
put
of
the
briefly.
both of the
So
addresses on the
yeah,
bottom at
so
the end.
a teacher would register as a seller, and they would link their account to Stripe, their bank account. And a teacher can then post a class for sale. The student can make the reservation with a credit card.
Yep.
And it would go on. It would go on each other's schedule. It would be push notifications when the classes are starting and stuff like that. And once the class starts, the teacher gets paid. So yeah, and then if you created a class, you could share it on your socials. So it's a shareable platform. But
Gotcha.
we don't really do advertising for you. You would have to share it. You'd have to hang a poster or something like that, or share it on Facebook or something like that to people
Okay.
that you're interested in.
Okay. We'll drop the in the notes, we'll drop the website, both of those websites too, so people can see
Okay.
where they are instead of thinking about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So marketing BWise to the general public, and then I'm trying to do an enterprise sale. So I'm also trying to sell the platform as a learning management system, so like a closed circuit system. So
yep.
I could sell it to a company like Myron Construction or the U.S. Army, and they could use it force wide. So they could say, hey, Mike, you're really good at setting up scaffolding. I need you to teach a scaffolding class. I need you to teach this class 6 times a year. Let me know when you have your classes built, and then we'll send the guys
Oh
that
yeah.
take scaffolding. Or HR could, hey, have a class called, this is our naming convention. And a class could also just be a point of note. Like a class could be employee handbook. That could be a class.
Sure. So
So
then an employer could keep some of their systems on there and
correct. So it's always accessible. Like, hey, how do we program the time clock? It's on bwise. There's a class on how to program the time clock. There's a class on how to run the coffee pot if you need it. And sometimes we need that. Like,
right. That's right.
Right. You know, sometimes you need them little goofy classes. But yeah, you could turn your force with bwise, and other training management systems do it too, but bwise is better. And
Yeah.
But anyway, it hasn't been tested yet. But
Okay. So I have one last question for you that I never tell anybody I'm going to ask them. And that question is there a question you wished I would have asked you?
um hmm.
And if so, consider it asked.
Well, this is my opportunity to just, yeah. No. How are you? How are you, Mike? Yeah.
Good.
Maybe
Good.
that's the question. Yeah.
That's
Where are you?
interesting. Thanks for
Where are
asking.
you?
I'm in DeForest right now at home in Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And this is your podcast.
Yeah.
And do you work for any other organizations? I don't know much about you.
No, we're a franchise. So I
Okay.
own an actionCOACH franchise in Milwaukee,
Okay.
and used to have a partner here. We've lived in Madison forever, and we're just north of Madison. And so we got a work divorce about 2 years ago, and we took the kid in Milwaukee, so to speak. So my team's over there: Sheboygan, Milwaukee, Racine, De Pere, Green Bay, and yeah, we're a business growth company for mostly tradespeople and
What do you call
construction
it?
companies.
Action
Action
class?
Coach.
Action coach. So you're a
Yep.
franchisee.
Yeah.
How many
Yep.
franchisees are there?
Last they admitted it was 1,080
Okay.
in 84 countries.
Okay.
Uh, Started in Australia.
Yeah.
33. Just had 33rd birthday.
So
So
what do the franchises do?
whatever we want. We
Did
use
you know?
we have three main frameworks. One's called
Okay.
the 5 ways, which is how money flows through business. The second one is called the 6 steps, which is the big chunks that you want to have. And the third one is actually called the entrepreneur ladder,
Okay.
which is how somebody graduates from, student to employee, self-employed, manager, director, owner, and then
Okay.
investor and entrepreneur at the top of the ladder, which is
Okay.
just make money with money.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah, things like that.
Okay. So you coach people through that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. By
My
way of
guys,
podcast.
mostly my guys do now. Um, Guys and women.
Okay.
Uh, I still have a
Hey,
handful of my favorite clients that I still work with personally. We have a couple bigger companies that I work with their executives, but for the most part, I'm trying to run our company the way that we coach people to run their companies, which is get out of the way,
yeah.
have great people that are well trained,
Yep.
and create the goals and objectives for your company and let them grow into doing it for you.
Right.
So
So I'm doing it
yeah,
right.
I mean, it's really like I realized 2 years ago we weren't eating our own cooking, right? We were coaching people to do things that we weren't doing in our business. So the last couple of years was recalibrating everything that we do to be more in line with what we coach people for. And it took us a good 18 months to get decent traction, but things are good. Traction's good
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Funny thing,
Um,
what we coach people to do works in our business too if we just do it.
yeah. I thought of my question.
Great.
Um, what is for you? So if you posted a class on bwise, what would you teach?
Hmm. That's very interesting quote. My specialty is mindset and self-limiting beliefs,
Okay. And so
and
would
how
it be
they,
would it be a multi-session format?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it would be, so what we learned is people have lots of, you know, self-limiting beliefs on what goals they should have and can have and how they can do things and what's right and not right. Um, and I happen to be, one of my skills is helping people break through what they think should be,
Mm-hmm.
versus what it is that they really want their business to do for them.
What does that average life cycle look like for your clients or your students?
I mean, the average is probably, do you mean how long it takes them to break through some of those things or how long they work with us?
Yeah, yeah. Um, how long before they realize, like, yeah, you're right, and I need to start doing those things, and they can either choose to do them or not do them. That's still
Well,
another learn to
in a
have
weird
after.
way, it's either 4 months or 6 to 7 years.
Okay.
Like in 4 months, people decide that they really want what they said they wanted, or that they really don't want what they said they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Because change is change, right? We
Yep.
got to do some things that make them happen. But then once somebody gets over that kind of 4 month hump and commits to what they want, I mean, our experience is, most of our clients haven't left.
Right.
So if somebody, you know, has an $800,000 construction company and 6 years later they're at $10 million, they have different things happening to them. So they want help as they grow through those different stages of growth, and we have the pleasure, luxury, whatever, of helping them along the way.
Okay. And you evaluate their situation and
Yeah,
their workforce and everything.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, they
Wow.
can't. To your point, they got to know who's on their team and how to develop them to make sure they get what they want out of it.
Okay.
So yeah, we don't specialize. We don't specialize in HR. We specialize in how HR facilitates your business or doesn't facilitate your business.
Okay.
So we work the process side and
And do you
help them with the
typically
people
just
side.
interface with one person of that organization?
Depends on the size. When we get started, it's usually just the owner, but right now we have a company we're coaching, I think 11 people in.
Oh,
So it
neat.
depends on how they grow. And at some point for the owners really to thrive, we're learning that they need to also turn development of their people over to either somebody
Right. Yeah.
internally
And
or,
if the owners aren't nurturing and coaching their employees, somebody else needs to hold that torch, and that's you. It
yep,
sounds like.
yep, lots of times.
Okay. Oh,
So yeah, it's
okay.
growth. There's different things that we do at different growth stages. Some people just want sales training or marketing training, management training, and we do all those on 12-week classes.
Okay.
And some people want us to be along to help keep pushing them through all the different stages of growth that businesses go through. So
That's cool. That's a cool vantage point you get to have.
it is. It's especially now. Like I have the luxury of when one of my coaches is working with a client, then I get to kind of really look from 100,000 feet and say, hey man, when you started, you said this was your goal. You guys are kind of off to the side. Like
Yeah.
let's get back. Like either
Right. Yeah. It's
decide you don't want,
nice when you get it has a different perspective.
right? Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
And
So that's what we do in
different
a
challenges
nutshell.
give you those. Yeah. Good.
All right, Eric. Thanks for the time, Eric Beach. Be wise, and you also have a hotel called the Beach House, right?
Well, I have two other businesses. Beach House is apartments, rentals mostly,
Okay, got it.
and Beach Hotel. That's my most recent and most laborsome job. I bought 4 years ago, and I bought Beach Hotel with the primary purpose to fund BWise.
Gotcha.
Um, but it has taken me all of 4 years to
Yeah,
nurture the hotel along. So it really
yeah.
hasn't done that yet, but I'm coming around the corner here. So
All right. All right, man. Well, it's great to talk to you. Thanks for being on the show.
thank you, Mike.